All right, the abortion battle heating up here in California. State Senator Christine Kehoe of the 39th District has unveiled a bill that would clarify which medical service providers can provide abortions in the state of California.
Senate Bill 1501 would state that trained nurse practitioners, certified nurse midwives, and also physician assistants in the state could provide first trimester abortions in outpatient clinics and doctors' offices.
Kehoe says her bill would clear up any confusion about who can perform the procedures, as well as provide many women living in rural areas with options they don't currently have. All right, State Assemblyman Brian Jones of the 77th District in Santee says he is against this legislation, and he's joining us this morning to explain why. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, tell us why.
You know, in California is right now one of the most progressive states on this issue. And in a state where we have a major deficit, we have a high unemployment rate, I just believe that this isn't one of the issues that the legislature should be paying attention to this year. We've got higher priorities than expanding the number of people who can provide abortions in California. I've got, I represent 460,000 Californians. I've never had one of them come to me and say, can you make it easier to get an abortion?
Well, there are rural areas, and what supporters of this clarification say is that there are areas where people can't get services, and in this case, maybe it's high risk, something has happened, you know, their life could be at stake, or maybe they're a victim of rape or incest, and they need access quickly. It's time is of the essence, so that's why they're trying to clarify this.
Sure, and I'm glad you brought up the rural areas issue, because I represent the rural areas of San Diego. I represent all of East County out to the Imperial County border, and again, I've never had one constituent come to me and say that this is a problem that I want you to address as my elected official. I have had hundreds come to me and say, I need a job. What are you going to do about helping me get a job? What are you going to do about freeing up the economy and here in California so that I can go back to work and provide for my family? You know, in a state where the majority party and the governor have tried to regulate every industry to the point where we have businesses leaving California, this is the one industry that they choose to deregulate and make it easier. And you're talking about time is of the essence.
For women that are at risk, there are
I understand
some circumstances.
And I used to be
maybe they don't have access to transportation.
Sure, and I used to be on staff at a church in my district. I've counseled women and young women and families through this decision process. And I believe that if a young woman's going to make this decision, that this is not a time of the essence decision. This is a decision that requires time, it requires counsel, it requires reflection. This is an important decision. And part of what concerns me about this kind of process is they are trying to make what potentially is a life-changing decision as easy as driving through the local hamburger place to get lunch.
Yeah, this is a major medical procedure.
It is a major medical
procedure.
And absolutely.
Well, right now with the political climate, though, a lot of women's health groups have spoken out about issues like this in Virginia and things like that. It's a flashpoint, and it's starting to be that in the election.
By
sitting up here, are you conscious of that? Are you concerned about that?
Oh, absolutely, I'm conscious of that. And you know, it kind of goes back to, I believe Senator Kehoe has one of two goals with this bill. Number one, she knows it's a flashpoint and it's going to get a lot of press and it's going to raise a lot of firestorm of reaction. So, and she knows that. She's a smart politician. And she knows that she's going to get her name ID increased across the state and she's going to become more well known. Or number two, her second goal, she really does believe in it and wants to get it passed. I don't think it passes the Senate, and I'm certainly going to do everything I can to make sure it doesn't pass out of the Assembly.
State Assemblyman Brian Jones, we've got to run, but thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Thanks for coming in.
All right.